Hey, what's going on, guys? You got a Honda Accord or a Honda Civic and you're trying to change the fuel filter. That's right down there underneath the master cylinder behind the intake. And there's a fuel line right here that connects on top of the fuel relay, runs down to it. And then the one underneath, and then it's also got a clamp right there that mounts it to the inner fender well. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to change it and tell you the tools you need step by step. So the first thing you need to do is undo that fuel line. And that fuel line is a 17 millimeter. You can use a socket or a wrench on it to get it undone. Don't lose the washers that are on the back of it though. They keep it from leaking. Let's get that off. Alright guys, we got that line undone from the fuel rail assembly. We took the washers and we just kept them up on the rail so we don't lose them. Next thing you want to do is undo this power steering line bracket right there that holds this line in place, and that's a 10 millimeter. Alright guys, once you undo that bracket, see, then you can move this line freely up out of the way, see, to give you some space. And then you want to do the line right there on the top of the fuel filter. And then there's one holding it right there, you can see. Right where my hand, right there where my finger's pointing when I put my hand in the way. That hold that fuel filter to the inner fender well, and that's a 10 millimeter. So undo the line at the top of the fuel filter. Like I said, that is a 17 millimeter. Let's get that removed. Also guys, little trick here that I do for doing these fuel filters on these Hondas is well, shoot, let me grab a metal extension and grab that socket I just dropped. Alright, now that we're back, I like to take a 12-inch 3/8 extension with the socket on the end of it. But you need, if you got a swivel, you know, complete 365 ratcheting head. This is a Mako. I'm sorry, not a Mako, a Mac. You know, that's the. Let me show you here. That's what this one is. Yeah, they do make that aftermarket one you can buy at Harbor Freight. I personally own very little Harbor Freight tools. They're just they don't hold up over time, and as a professional mechanic, you can't be in the middle of a job and have a tool break on you. And that's why buying Snap-on and Mac and your other big tool company brands like Wright Tools, they're worth it just because reliability. You can't be in the middle of a job and have a tool break on you when you're working on a customer's car. Okay, so back to this. Yeah, I use like I said, a swiveling head ratchet with a 12-inch 3/8 because it works in there perfectly for taking these out. You ain't got to use all them swivels and all the adapters and all that crap. A 12-inch 3/8 extension with a complete, you know, 365 pivoting 3/8 ratchet. All right, let's get that top of that line undone on the filter. All right, guys. We're actually trying to get to the line on the bottom of the filter now. And you do need, if you have some stubby wrenches, let me show you what I mean by a stubby wrench. You know, these little stubbies versus your, you know, let's see here. Stubby wrenches compared to a, you know, standard length wrench. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, I believe that line on the bottom of the filter, I believe it's a 15 millimeter. Whoops. So I got a flex head one right here. Let's see if we can get it out. Yeah, and these fuel filters, by the way, Honda, no, they do not make it to where you can access it from underneath. Why? I have no clue. I didn't design the car. You know, terrible design if you ask me. But, okay, other than the fuel filter, the cars are great. Tell you what we're gonna do. This is the new fuel filter right here, guys. This end faces up because your line that goes to your top of the intake, it clamps into there. This is the intake side of the filter. You know, they're only made one way because they're different sizes. Versus like on some GM products, they're the same on either side. Usually it's going to be marked inlet and outlet, but sometimes if it's warm from shipping and things like that, you won't know. But that's a good reminder, good tip there. Like I said, on some of your GM products, the filter, you know, it looks identical on either side. Same size wrenches and everything to hold it on. That Honda, they did not make this thing easy to access. We would need a stubby, as in a little socket. Oh, and I'm doing this video also to show you all, yes, this filter can be done without taking off the master cylinder and bleed the brakes. You know, and completely do a complete brake system on the vehicle. You know, yeah, doing it that way, sure, it's great for your garage, because then they're going to sell you, you know, they're going to upcharge you a shop miscellaneous fee and brake fluid and all that other crap they do. You know, I've worked for many shops over the years. I've worked for Kenworth and Paco Cars. That's, for those of you who don't know who Paco Car, that's your company that owns Kenworth, Peterbilt, Freightliner. I was a diesel mechanic for them, and yes, I'm ASE certified. I went to Nashville Auto Diesel, which is located in Tennessee. Now, I live in Kentucky. But like I said, then I've worked for some other big car manufacturers here in Kentucky. Worked at your Ford dealership. I don't want to work at their factories. You know, I'm not no factory assembly line worker. I'm a mechanic. But what's crazy is, you know, I don't do that anymore for a living. I do it as a hobby, making side money. Get that bolt out for you all. Now, I've always said, in order to work on vehicles, there you go, there's that bolt out. or to work on vehicles and do it for a living, you have to have patience, because nothing you do on it is necessarily made to be done quickly or easily. One second, guys. I'm getting a feel for that line down there. So the whole thing with vehicles, working on vehicles, it's only hard, in my opinion. It's only hard if you make it hard. You know. So if you make it hard, of course you're gonna struggle. There's this line with the washer on the back. Yeah, I don't drop my crap. Look at here, look at here. Well, scratch that video. Now we're doing a video on how to replace a fuel line. Alright. Well, that's how you remove it. Then you repeat the process, putting it on. We're going to have to get a fuel line for this car. I'm going to put this bolt back in there so we don't lose it. Since we now know what was the problem with this vehicle. This vehicle was having a real hard time starting. You crank on it and crank on it and crank on it and crank on it. Turn the key over, turn it back off, turn the key over, turn it back on. When you turn the key over on a fuel injected car, it automatically primes the injectors. Turn it right back off, it shuts off. Turn it right back on, it'll reprime the injectors. Well, so you have to prime the injectors like 15 times and crank on it, then it finally fire up. Well, now we know why it was having all them problems, because we thought, simple. This car's been sitting for 3 years. Okay, got a clogged fuel filter, no problem. Nope, we got a bad line. There's the problem. Fuel line's bad. Well, no big deal. We'll get this new one in the morning, and we'll reinstall it. So there, guys, this video's turned into how to remove and replace your fuel line. Well, hopefully this was useful for you all, because we didn't plan on this video, so I had to retitle the video. If y'all felt this was useful, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so already. Like I said, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all have a great day.